Hello and welcome to Emma's ESL English. This is a sneaky extra. I mentioned in episode 36 that I might do a reading for you. What I'm going to read first of all is the opening scene to Macbeth, Shakespeare's play Macbeth. Don't worry, it's not very long. I'll do a special blog post for this too because there's some vocabulary in here that's not very sensible. Remember, we're talking about Shakespeare, 1600s. It's a long time ago. English was different, and dramatic English was even more different. It doesn't sound like English that we use today, so don't panic if you don't understand a word of what I say. What I'm going to do is read first the Macbeth scene. I'm going to read everybody's parts though, so hopefully it makes sense. And then second, I'm going to read from the first page of Terry Pratchett's book, Wyrd Sisters. As I mentioned in the episode, Wyrd Sisters is a satire that is loosely based on Macbeth and has several things that any Shakespeare buff would recognize. So, Macbeth itself, the play, begins in a desert place. The instructions tell us that there is thunder and lightning, so imagine a kind of situation, and there are 3 witches. The first witch says, "When shall we 3 meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?" Second witch, "When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won." Third witch, "That will be ere the set of sun." First witch, "Where the place?" Second witch, "Upon the heath." Third witch, "There to meet with Macbeth." First witch, "I come graymalkin." Second witch, "Paddock calls." Third witch, "Anon." All, "Fair is foul and foul is fair, hover through the fog and filthy air." Exit. It's well known for being a very dramatic entrance or beginning to any play. I can tell you for certain that I have no idea what the word graymalkin means, which the first witch says. Paddock calls makes no sense to me whatsoever because a paddock is a field. And the third witch ends with anon, which is an extremely ancient way of saying goodbye. Anon appears in quite a few Shakespeare plays, but we would never ever use it in modern English. Hurly-burly means lots of busy things happening. We do use hurly-burly sometimes. And a heath is upland moorland area, we can say. So there is a lot of vocabulary in here that we do use. However, the structure and grammar, totally different. Okay, let's move to Terry Pratchett's Wyrd Sisters, which was first released in 1988. The wind howled. Lightning stabbed at the earth erratically like an inefficient assassin. Thunder rolled back and forth across the dark, rain-lashed hills. The night was as black as the inside of a cat. It was the kind of night you could believe on which gods moved men as though they were pawns on the chessboard of fate. In the middle of this elemental storm, a fire gleamed among the dripping furze bushes like the madness in a weasel's eye. It illuminated 3 hunched figures. As the cauldron bubbled, an eldritch voice shrieked, "When shall we 3 meet again?" There was a pause. Finally, another voice said, in far more ordinary tones, "Well, I could do next Tuesday." So in this case, we also have some more unusual vocabulary. We have the word erratic, which means unpredictable, moving randomly. We have the word pawns, which is the smallest and least powerful character in a game of chess. Elemental means basic elements, so a very basic kind of storm. Furze is just a kind of bush. And a cauldron is a kind of pot that we usually see with witches. It's a very traditional pot that we see with witches. I'll put a picture in the blog. And then we have the word eldritch, which is definitely one of Terry's favourite words. Eldritch really matches well with witches. It means something otherworldly. It gives us that idea of something that's creaky and old and mysterious. The other thing I love about this is Terry's use of similes. Similes are a part of English very similar to metaphors, where we compare something to something else. We very often use like when we're using a simile. And the thing I love about Terry is he makes the funniest similes ever. In normal English, we want a simile to be really easy to understand. And Terry's are really easy to understand. We can really imagine what that means when he says that. But they're also a little bit extreme. So we had the night is as black as the inside of a cat. Why are you inside a cat, Terry? What is that about? Obviously, it's dark in there, but really, why are we inside a cat? On which gods moved men as though they were pawns on the chessboard of fate. So that's a metaphor that's giving us that idea, that picture of pawns on the chessboard of fate being real men in the world. And then a fire gleamed among the dripping furze bushes like the madness in a weasel's eye. So we've got that picture of a weasel and it looks crazy. And that's the same flickering that we're seeing with the fire. Love it. Love Terry Pratchett so much, if you hadn't noticed. Okay, I will do an extra special blog post to match this. I hope that's been fun for you. Any questions, you can send them to emma's@gmail.com. And of course, you can find more information. I'll put some of the pictures and vocabulary from this into the blog at emma's@english.com. I hope that was fun for you. It was certainly a lot of fun for me. Okay, see you next time. Bye.